Well, listen, I want to go back to music a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you told me that you used to work in law enforcement and then also do music, my mind directly correlated that to the story of Rick Ross, right? And so how I think he was a correctional officer.
Yeah, correctional officer, yep.
And went into, rap and basically became a staple in rap, right? Everyone knows who Rick Ross is, right?
Shout out to all the pairs.
Shout out to all the pairs, But yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of a stigma or like an association, because you're going into a landscape where basically every other song is like "fuck the ops," right? And so it's like, how is that kind of from your kind of eyes? Looking at that and dealing with that and making music.
And that's why I mentioned earlier, I was like, I never wanted my platforms to like integrate, right? Because I've been doing music before I've been doing the law enforcement, right? So everybody know my platforms, music. And then I had built up this platform with law enforcement on TikTok, and I was like, they're going to find out that I'm a cop. And like it's a stigma. It's like, bro, like we don't, even though I don't rap about that type of stuff, right? It's still like, how you gonna be a rapper? Like a rapper supposed to be this one thing, right? And when my video started going too viral on TikTok, it happened. Everybody was like, I didn't know you was a cop, But the response I got from it was a good response. It wasn't a bad response at all, right? People were like, yo, that's cool, because we know what type of person you are, so we know what type of cop you are and stuff like that. But like I said, at first I was afraid of like them,
like backlash kind of thing.
Yeah, like the profiles meshing, but it was probably the best thing that I've did. It's probably the best thing that I've that I've done with when it comes to the music and the police and the way that the profiles mesh. I don't think you didn't tell them the story yet, right?
Hell no.
Oh God.
So the way the profiles mesh, right? So I was on TikTok. For a month, right? And if you look on TikTok, you're seeing there was a lot of cops humanize the badge. They doing like funny voiceovers that you do on TikTok in your uniform. I was on TikTok for a whole month, right? I was doing the little funny voiceovers. I had grew 50,000 followers, right? In that month, it was like, I'm talking about, and like literally, as the day would go, I would wake up and it'd be 6,000 new followers, 7,000 new followers. It was ridiculous. It was like, I remember thinking when I watched Gary's thing, he was like, you should try to aim for this number every week or every month to grow up in followers. If you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. And I'm just like, I totally like debunked the entire thing. Like it was ridiculous. Like I'm just like, oh, this is kind of crazy. So I get to 50,000 followers, right? 1 month, 50,000 followers. They started to go over to the Instagram. They going little by little, because I have the Instagram in the bio now. So they going little by little and stuff like that, right? George Floyd thing happened, right? I watched the video, right? Mind you, a little side note, I stopped watching videos of black people being treated the way that we are treated when it comes to law enforcement. I stopped it. Because it bothered me, right? So I didn't want to put up with it, whatever. So I was basically like shutting it out. So I'm in the car. I watched the video, right? The George Floyd video. I'm sitting in this uniform, right? I'm even more disgusted now. And now it's a different thing, right? I make a video, condemning the cop the way that, the cop did it, whatever. The video goes viral, right? 3 hours into the video being out, Internal Affairs from the police department calls me, right? Williams, you know where our office is at. Come here. Okay. I get there to Internal Affairs. Get up there. They didn't even mention the George Floyd video, right? They was like, you can't post in uniform, right? A bunch of bullcrap, because a bunch of officers in the police department that I was working at post in uniform all the time, right? But I know that it struck a nerve because of the George Floyd video, right? Granted, all the cops was on my side. They're like, we have training. We know what's supposed to happen and what's not supposed to happen, and how everybody is held accountable for everybody on the scene, right? they got this thing called getting stuck in policing. They have this thing called being stuck in the OODA loop, right? Where you can get stuck in the OODA loop really fast. Like when we had like tactic classes, you would draw your gun out and you'll say, "Get on the ground," right? And a person to be on the ground and you'll still yell, "Get on the ground," because you're stuck, right? Like, bro, he's on the ground. He's there. He's on the ground, and that's a big thing. And that's a big thing inside policing. So they teach us that inside the academy. Don't get stuck in the OODA loop. Don't get stuck in that tunnel vision where it's like
these automated
put your hands
responses.
up and your hands and the guy's hands is already up and you just like put your hands up like, bro, my hands are up. What are you doing, right? So, that big thing of not being stuck in the OODA loop, right? Once the officer was stuck in the OODA loop, right? Where we as police officers, you are a first responder, right? You are the first ones on the scene, right? So if my knee is on your neck and you're telling me I can't breathe, everything in you, in any police handbook, anything, you stop, you sit the person up to where they can breathe, you confirm that they can breathe, and then you finish with your tactics, right?
Through.
Exactly, right? Which it wasn't happening, right? The guy just was like kind of like looking around, right? And George Floyd is on the ground. He's yelling, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe," right? So you got that. So I'm disgusted by the video. So being disgusted by the video, I go and I put out the video. I'm sitting in uniform. I told you. The video started to go viral ASAP. My I got 50,000 people watching me, right? So now with this being the height of everything, the video started to go viral. They call me an IA. Excuse me. They call me the IA. IA is like, you can't post in uniform.
Internal affairs.
Yeah, internal affairs. So, like, you can't post in uniform. So I was like, all right, whatever it is. Like, well, if you can take down the videos, then take down the videos or whatever. But we're gonna open an investigation into your social media. Right? All smoke to me. I'm just like, what you're gonna find? You're gonna find nothing. So, and you open an investigation on me. I'm not taking down the videos. I put them all on private, so I can only see them.
Right.
The world can't see them. Right. Put them all on private. Before I put the videos on private, literally, I'm walking down the flight, 3 flights of stairs, from the 5th floor from IA to to outside. And literally the video was already on like World Star Shade Room. It's everywhere now. It's everywhere. Like, right. This was as I was sitting up there holding that 15-minute conversation with them, right? It's everywhere now, right? So I took, I did what I said I was going to do, right? Kept my word. Now the video is everywhere, right? It's over in Brazil. It's everywhere, right? Everybody I was America's police officer. Everybody is praising me at this time, right? So it's like, so now they're really upset. It's like, oh, I didn't do the video. I didn't tell them to go post it on that. I didn't tell them to play it on CNN. I didn't tell them to do none of that. It just happened, right? I did what, I kept my end of the deal, put it down or whatever. Mind you, jump back to the music. Following the music, now I go back to live duty. I'm out there and working and stuff like that. Everybody's noticing me. Yo, officer from the. I'm glad you're in the city because now I feel like the trust cops. This is a good response. I didn't get a bad response at all, right? Then I do. So now the TikTok grows from 50,000 followers to 240,000 followers. Right?
Wow.
This is all in a matter of a week.
That's insane.
A week, right? So now I got this fan base, right? Now I have this platform, right? So and it's so crazy because the stuff that I've been speaking on, like social injustice, economical injustice, like a lot of stuff, I'm just still doing it, but I'm doing it to a bigger platform, right? They called me back, right? They just don't want you talking. They call you back, right? They call me back. They say, okay, until we can figure out everything or whatever, we're going to put you on administrative leave. We're going to put you down in the records division. They take your gun in your badge. They take my gun in my badge, right? It broke me down like that. Yeah. So I'm taking my gun in my badge. I worked too hard for that, for you to take that, right? For just like that, and you don't have really no ground. You're just mad because I'm talking, right? They take my gun in my badge. I go down to internal affairs. I'm down there for like 2 months. I come up. I have a hearing, right? It's the deputy chief, my superiors, IA superiors, or whatever the case is, and we talked for an hour, and then they were like, "All right, let us deliberate." So they deliberated, and when I came back, they was like, "Okay, well, we feel as though it's beneficial that you be terminated, right? I thought it was a joke. Literally, I thought it was a joke. I was like, yeah, that's impossible. Because I'm having conversations with my sergeant, with everybody else. I'm like, it's impossible for them to terminate me because you don't have really no grounds, right? They did it anyway. So they terminated me. The whole thing, as we spoke inside that meeting, the whole thing was that I've gotten too big, right? It's not much. They can't tell me to delete my social media because that's my freedom of speech, right? So instead of telling him to delete it, instead of we can't tell him to delete his social media. So what we're going to do is he's just not going to be a problem of ours at all. So just let him go, which was a stupid mistake on their self because that's just going to be them. They gonna have to wear that. So they seeing everything that's going on, mind you, in that time. I've been on like numerous talk shows and stuff like that, right? I never mentioned the name of the police department, right? I broke down a story exactly. I just broke down a story with you guys. You guys obviously know because we're here, but you know, I never. For the viewer looking in, I'm on national TV. I never even mentioned the name of the police department. I never did none of that, right? Because I didn't want to bring any heat to the police department. When everybody found out where it was at, they started calling the police crazy, like, you just fired him. Why did it was ridiculous to the point where they had to put out a statement like, we didn't fire Officer Williams for the George Floyd video. It was some other stuff and we can't speak on it. Okay, so speak on it. What was the other stuff? I've never been into internal affairs ever a day in my life as being policing, right? I was a stellar police officer. Ask any other police officer, any sergeant, lieutenant, captain, anybody, right? So now you basically like you wanted to silence me, right? And that veteran officer told me that. He said, if you get too big, they're going to try to silence you. He said, because it happened with me, and I wasn't as big as where you as what your stuff is doing. He was like, but they're going to try to silence you and not make you, like just do away with you. So if you talk, it doesn't show bad light on them. It's going to show bad light on them anyway because I was already one of you guys. So you can't just throw it away.